YouTube, this shows over this story. You're going to watch another Shoe0nHead video. This is Men Deserve to Be Lonely, responding to backlash over the male loneliness epidemic, something we have watched a little while ago. Anyway, grab your snackies, grab your babbies. Let me know what you're eating or drinking down below. And let's get to watching.
If you guys are unaware, my last video was the one I've been working on for a while called the Male Loneliness Epidemic. If you haven't watched that video, please go watch it first before you watch this one, so this all makes a lot more sense, and then come back to this one. Link in the description. Now, although there was a lot of support for this video, there was also a lot of hate. A lot of hate. In fact, the most hate that I've probably ever received on a video ever, and if you're familiar with the content I make on this channel, that should be shocking. From angry femcels calling me ugly to angry incels saying I'm a grifter who only wants to make money or something. Ridiculous. So before we get into those extremely untrue criticisms, let's get into today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallets are high-quality, minimalist wallets that can hold up to 12 cards, plus extra room for all that cash you don't have. They're made with RFID blocking technology.
Does anyone have a Ridge Wallet? Do you like your Ridge Wallet? Legitimately asking, I see these advertised a lot. I have a friend who likes minimalist wallets, but he doesn't have a Ridge Wallet, and he's very particular about the wallet that he does carry around, but like I was just wondering.
Technology, which protects you from digital pickpockets, ensuring that you have the perfect blend of style and security. Their products come in over 30 different colors and styles, including carbon fiber, gunmetal, and matte olive. I'm still on my
Ooh, those are expensive. I don't know, maybe that's just me and my person. I have like a built-in like card slot holder thing in like my bag that I currently carry, which is not like a fashionable bag. Like it's I love it. It's a koala bag, which those aren't cheap either, but it's functional. I really like it. So, and before that I had like a wallet phone grip thingy. That was a card holder, so I don't know. Even just
Barbie arc, so my personal favorite is the Flamingo Pink. They also offer matching key cases that are sleek, durable, and keep your keys from jingling. So you can instead get your jingling key entertainment from Shoe0nHead videos, of course. Ridge has over 50,000 5-star reviews, and they're so confident that you'll love their product that you can try them out for 99 days, and if you don't like them, you can return them for a complete refund. They're also currently running a giveaway. You can enter to win a new Ford Bronco or $75,000. Wait, what? I'm gonna enter this. So head over to ridge.com/shoe or click the link down below and enter code SHOE at checkout to get 10%.
If you guys hear something, I've decided to eat more chicken.
Off your purchase, as well as 10 bonus entries to the giveaway. Big thanks to Ridge for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. You didn't skip the ad, right? I can always really count on you for not skipping.
Like, look at her makeup. She's so good at it. She looks so pretty.
The ad, right? Now let's get back to the video. Men are lacking purpose, and a man will crawl through broken glass for a purpose.
And there's a lot of truth to what she's saying there and in the whole video, which is worth watching. That video has 1.5 million views in just the last week.
Thanks, Matt Walsh. You're my greatest ally. My male loneliness video was the fastest growing video on my channel to date. And there is a reason for that. It resonated with a lot of people. I got hundreds and hundreds of comments every single day by men venting in my comments section, feeling like for once they were being heard and that they were in a place where they could talk. It was simultaneously the most heartwarming and heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. And this discussion blew up so much that it eventually reached TikTok.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now.
Lord. Is this the consequences of your own actions? Men get recognized for the useless things that they are in society. And what do men do? Oh my god, I'm lonely.
Is there a male loneliness epidemic right now, or are more and more women just progressively realizing that there's a lot better things to do in life than be stuck with a toxic, insecure man?
I don't think we're in the middle of a male loneliness epidemic. We're in the middle of a mass female awakening.
You're just reaping the consequences of your terrible upbringing, your own actions.
Some men are lonely because y'all are fucking creeps.
Y'all deserve to be lonely, every single one of them. This is their fault. Fuck them.
Men's loneliness epidemic that's going on. That sounds like it really sucks. Just wondering if they've considered smiling more.
Wow, that's a really funny joke. I've never heard that before.
Have the men just tried smiling a little bit more?
You know, I'd recommend smiling more.
Have they? I worked in a pharmacy for 7 years. Do you know how many times, very specifically older men, would make a comment to try and force me to smile at them? In fact, my boss was really cool. I'll give him that. One day I wasn't even paying attention because I was doing my fucking job, and this dude, older man, was calling out to me. I wasn't noticing because I was not helping him. Someone else was helping him. But because I did not drop everything and stop doing what I was doing and smile at him and wish him a good morning, I was doing my job. This was also when I was working mornings, which terrible. But my boss was calling out to me and trying to get me to pay attention to him and smile at him and wish him good morning and all this other shit. And my boss was like, "Oh, she's not a morning person. Don't worry about her. Have a good day." But yeah, so legitimately, I don't know why, but men will be like, and I've never had a woman do this to me, which is why, and I've never seen a woman do this to any of my male coworkers. I have seen multiple men do this to me and to my female coworkers, could I get a smile? Or you should smile. Or shit like that. I'm just saying that is why so many women are going to be like, have they tried smiling more? Because we literally get comments that is basically like, you have to smile at me. A lot. It's frustrating as hell.
They tried smiling more.
Have you thought about smiling more?
Maybe they should smile more.
Maybe they should try to smile more.
Have they tried smiling more?
That's awful. Have they tried smiling?
Is this why people think women aren't funny? Bleak. Now, TikTok isn't the...
I get it. But if you work men are going to say something about you not smiling if you're not smiling at them. You have to smile at them. Or they say something. It is taking a problem and making it about you and belittling them. I know. You're not wrong, but that is why they've all said the same thing. That's all I'm pointing out. Is they're all, the fact that they're all saying oh, have you tried smiling more, is because these women probably have been told that multiple times. I can definitely relate. I don't know why. I don't know why that is a thing, to be honest. Does me not smiling impede me doing my job? It doesn't. Here's your medication. Have a good day. I don't know.
The only place where this insanity happened. The thumbnail of my video went viral on Twitter, which led to some of the most funniest and unhinged reactions. So we are going to go through some of these and talk about them, as well as some of the angry comments I got from the manosphere. Let's jump into it. Male loneliness is not real and not valid.
Yes,
Men
it
are lonely.
is. Oh my god. So the issue with... Okay. So the issue... It's not an issue. That video was basically being going over maybe some mental health problems, going over how we are in a different place in society because of the internet and where we are, etc., and like how hard it is to connect with other people and how do you connect with other people, right? Also, again, I have terrible memory normally. I'm on pain medication because of my surgery. I will have a hard time recalling what the old video is about. Just, I'm sorry that like, I have goldfish memory. But like, think about like, so when I think about stuff, like how do people, adults specifically, make friends? Like, how do they make friends? Like, just a normal, like, not like, hey, I run an anime convention. Just normal, I work a 9-to-5 office job or whatever. How do they make friends? You make friends with your neighbors. You make friends with your workmates, like your coworkers. If you go to a church, you make friends through the church. And that's kind of it, right? Like that's your social pool right there, okay? If you don't go to church, you are -1 social pool. Like, it's hard to make human connections, right? It's hard to find somebody that is, you know, you could be romantic with, if that makes sense. Like, it is difficult out there. Like, your biggest pool is going to be like your college pool, right? But after you leave college, your pool shrinks. So it is difficult, and it is difficult to make connections. And then it's like, oh, let's just make an app, right? I've never been on a dating app. I'm not going to lie to you. Looking at them, my understanding of them, I'm like, that is so much. Like, that seems daunting to me. There are so many people on there, and like, what kind of app are you on? What are you looking for? Are they going to respect it? Like, it seems like a lot. It's hard. It's hard to make connections. How many friends do you have that are outside of your workplace, outside of, you know, people that you went to school with, outside of your neighbors, outside of maybe your church or whatever, do you have? And how did you meet them? Where did you meet them? It's easier for some people than it is others, right? It's easier for some people to find people with similar likes than others. As someone who grew up liking anime when anime was niche and hard to find, it was really rare that I found someone that was also reading manga, liking anime. Now it's everywhere. Now it's super easy to find. Now it's kind of more mainstream, but it wasn't when I was a kid. So, like, I get it. It is hard. So just kind of, like, being, like, male loneliness isn't a thing. Loneliness in general is a thing socially right now. It's hard to connect with people. That's all I'm getting at. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
Because they are terrible people. Why the f should anyone have empathy for men? Men were born bad. Men are subhuman, and their loneliness can't be cured because they can't relate to actual human beings. Most men are born useless.
Okay. The people that are running, I guess, the government, I don't know. Those aren't necessarily, like, I know they're voted in, but they don't necessarily uphold the belief systems or the values of every other man around you, if that makes sense. And I know there's this whole, so the other problem here is that, like, at least when I was growing up, again, I am diagnosed slightly paranoid. At least when I was growing up, it is a whole, you have to protect yourself. You have to be ready to be attacked in different ways. Here's how you need to protect yourself, because it is not, you know, that whole argument is not all men, and it's not. But you still have to, like, protect yourself, right? But, like, it becomes, like, you see men as not, like, how they're saying you kind of stop seeing men as, like, human beings, but as, like, a predator that you have to protect yourself from. Because it's like, you can't walk alone at night. You need to have pepper spray on your keys. You can't leave a drink anywhere. You can't, you know, here's all these things that we have made so you can go to a bar and drink and not have to worry about someone spiking your drink. And, like, all this other stuff. I'm not trying to find a reason. I'm telling you why this is. Yeah, it's not all men, but it could be any man. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it has... I'm just trying to explain where some of this is coming from. I don't agree with it. I think it is a problem. Like, men are people too. Like, I think society at large has a loneliness epidemic. She has made 2 videos about loneliness epidemics. One's male focused, one's female focused, because it is a thing. I don't like how they're saying like men aren't human, and it's basically being like men don't deserve any of, and I'm just like, that's not true. Like, first of all, we should all get mental health care. Like, we should all be worried about one another. We should all normalize having emotions and being able to talk to them and etc. I'm just saying. It is paranoia. We have been raised to be paranoid. Or at least a lot of people have been raised to be paranoid.
And are meant to die alone. Nah, male suicide rate needs to be higher, actually. These men are 100%.
No! That's not cute. That's not funny.
The most misogynistic demons on the planet and deserve every bit of loneliness they feel. LOL. You don't understand the pleasure it gives me to see these men crying and depressed. Imagine losing in the world that is literally built for you. This is an insane question to ask, considering how society continues to fail women and girls at every turn. Crazy how men's well-being is considered a communal responsibility, but women's well-being isn't even considered. Oh, how delightful! A tweet from Earth 2. I'm so tired of the idea that we must have infinite empathy for men's loneliness while women are sexualized from fucking birth. We are assaulted, harassed, raped, and killed for something we didn't choose to be. But boo-hoo, the poor men and their inability to make friends. You know we can talk about multiple things at the same time, right? Also, it's...
So that's what I'm talking about. That's why. At no point did they step out and be like, oh shit, men also have problems that they face. It is different problems. Not all of it's different, but there are different problems that they don't have to be concerned about, or that I don't have to be concerned about, but they do, and vice versa. But problems are still having, like, they still have problems, and it's still not good for their mental health, and it's hard to relate to people, and it's hard to connect with people. And in this society, like, humans are social creatures, right? We have always been social, even introverts. I mean, we have always been, human beings have always been social creatures. So it's a problem. And it's depressing, and depression is not healthy. Like, yeah, I don't like the jokes about suicide, though. That's not cute. I don't like that.
Deranged to say that society doesn't care about women's sexual assault. We have domestic violence shelters that we can go to. Men don't. Men being a...
Yeah, so I'm mad about that, actually. So I thought... So we have Hannah Home, right? I thought King's Ranch was like a place for men to go, but it's like a place for kids to go and not men. So like there's nowhere men can go. Men are also victims of domestic violence, and they also can get SA'd and stuff. Like, people just write that kind of shit off, and I'm like, it's a problem though. Like, that isn't just because they're a man doesn't make it okay.
By women, men being raped is all played off as a joke. When a little boy is molested by an older woman, it's seen as cool and hot. Society is fucked up all around. It's not a competition. It is not a zero-sum game. My video can exist alongside your advocacy for women's rights. As long as you're not saying dumb fucking shit, I will stay out of your way. I don't give a fuck about male loneliness. Like, bro, if you can't meet a girl, just dial up the queer homie and hook up like a normal person. God, if men are lonely on an epidemic scale, why don't they just cuddle and make out with each other? Why don't they just befriend and date each other? Problem solved. I love this advice. Just be gay. Simply become gay. Are you a lonely man? Are you a fucking loser? Consider sucking dick. Tell me why I, as a queer woman, should take time out of my day to care about men and their issues.
Because it's part of equality! Oh my god. Okay. I have this feeling about certain, like, things that are, like, equality based. Like, there are certain groups, and it's like, I want equality for my group. And it's like, great, so you want everyone to be accepted. It's like, no, I want me to be accepted and the other people that are currently being accepted to be less accepted. And I'm like, no, that's not equality. Like, we should just, everyone should just be accepted. You know, like, within reason. Like, if you're not breaking, like, important laws. I don't want to, like, blanket immunity somebody, okay? Like, you know. Like, you know what I mean. But, like you, it's something that drives me crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Because I'm a little out of it, and I'm trying to think of how to explain it. But, like, just people should get the same, if that makes any sense. Like, you should care just like they should care about you and your issue. Like, please.
Quickly. I'm not disabled. Why should I care about disabled people? Why talk about unions or workers' rights when I'm self-employed? If I only cared about causes that only affected me, I wouldn't even have a YouTube channel. I mean, yes, you don't have to care. You don't have to care about everything. But it doesn't affect me, so why should I care is just...
It is impossible, I think, to care about everything. Like, I feel like you have to kind of pick and choose what you are capable of caring about. Because there's something, like, because you're going to get bogged down, right? And I think that's fine. Personally, like, I think, like, yeah, there's certain things that you should care about. There's maybe some stuff that you can be like, wish them the best, but this isn't my fight necessarily, kind of. Like, don't be a dick about it. But, like, I feel like you shouldn't bog yourself down, right? Because you're just going to spiral. But I think personally, yeah, you shouldn't make things worse. You should be empathetic toward other people, like, etc. It just... you don't have to care about everything, but you also don't have to be a jerk about it. Like, you should understand, like, hey, they should have the same rights I have, or hey, we need to even this playing field somehow.
Terrible reason not to care. There's no such thing as misandry, just women who have had bad experiences with men and have woken up. There's no such thing as racism, just white people who have had bad experiences with black people. That's you. That's what you sound like. Can't stand this sort of pathetic pity party. We live in a time of abject plenty compared to any other time in history. Yeah, stop being depressed. You have a bunch of cheap plastic shit from China. Line goes up, world more gooder. Male loneliness epidemic, and it's just them not being able to get laid. Like, we really don't...
It's not them not getting laid, it's them having a hard time making social connections. It's not just about them getting laid. It is about social... like, connecting socially with somebody, which is important. Like, it is important.
Give a fuck. I love how this is always the go-to when it comes to this conversation. Oh no, the men aren't getting laid. But if you, like, actually talk to some of these guys, like, even if you talk to some of these incels, the ones who, like, Don't Hate Women, they're gonna tell you that it's not really about sex. It's about companionship. It's about friendship. It's about having a girlfriend, a wife, a family. And a lot of these people were like, well, you know, that's why we should just legalize sex work. And honestly, I don't think that's a solution. Maybe
that does not fix the loneliness thing. It is like a Band-Aid. Yeah, let me drink my tea. It's like a Band-Aid. Like it doesn't fix the underlying problem, right? Because the problem is social connections. Like she said, companionship, friendships, like deeper emotional like levels, because some people don't feel like they can, you know, let out their emotions to their bros. Because like society isn't nice to men in that regard. So like, you know, hey, I want a lifelong companion that is a human being that I can discuss my inner feelings with. Like,
maybe it's like a temporary one, but it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. I don't think paying for meaningless sex with a stranger is going to solve the problem. In fact, it might make it worse over time. Instead of male loneliness epidemic, call it a cis male unfuckability crisis. It's just like what I said in the video. They have to add cis now because they don't want to insult trans men. Men suck! I hate them! Oh, not you! You're not a man. Yikes! Bruh, when they stop killing women, I'll stop generalizing them. Maybe I'll start worrying about their loneliness when they stop unaliving and raping children and women. Yeah, lonely guys, stop raping children, and maybe you won't be so lonely. What's all this hubbub about male loneliness? Y'all are acting like you're oppressed when I've opened myself up to friendships and relationships with you just to get told I have sucking eyes. That is hyper specific. Not everyone is your ex-boyfriend. All of men's problems are created by themselves. How is it women's responsibility to fix them? Seriously, why is it always women's job to fix everything? Any chance to blame...
I think in that video, again, Goldfish Brain, I don't actively remember a lot of stuff on it. I don't think anyone said it was women's jobs, except women started complaining about it. About how it was like, why are we being tasked with fixing this? And it was like, who told you it was your job to fix it? Like, I think we should normalize, like, hey, men have deeper emotions and should be able to share them and not be looked down upon. Like, that's me and my personal opinion. I think we should normalize therapy and like mental health and stuff like that. You know, like how when you're an adult and you've left your college and you're out in a completely different state or a completely different side of the country, how do you make friendships? Like, just in general too. Like, I've never experienced that, right? So how does that work for people? Because I've already explained what I think the pull is. I could be wrong. I mean, there are, you know, people are able to find stuff like book clubs or like sports clubs, like stuff like that. Like, those do exist. You can go to class, you can go to a cooking class or something. But like, the pool is so much smaller. How do you find people with similar interests than you? Especially if you have like a niche interest. You know?
Other women she seems to always take, LMAO, you are the problem. It's you carrying water for the patriarchy and blaming women for men feeling lonely and radicalized. I find it repulsive anytime I see a woman like her do shit like this. It makes me actively turn violently against things that even I would originally think are nuanced topics. And also, yes, men are lonely. No, it's not up to women to fix that. Fuck off, Nazi bitch. Things I blamed in the video. Technology, social media, dating apps, and the commodification of love. The media, low wages, the housing crisis, social alienation, lack of community, the left not speaking to men, the feeling of having no purpose. Things I didn't blame. Women! Now this might come as a shock to you, but not everything has to do with women. Sometimes we can talk about other things. Sometimes those other things are not women. My video was about society as a whole, and yes, that includes women. I never said it was women's responsibility. I think I mentioned women like once, and it was to say that women are also lonely, but that the media and society treats women's loneliness much differently than it treats men's loneliness. And yet, thousands of tweets and comments about how I was apparently blaming women, and how it's not women's fault. It's to the point where I'm like, is this projection? Do you think it is your fault? But again, my video was not about you. My video was about men. And if you want to listen to a video about women and women's problems, like I said in the original video, tune into literally anything else. Go to any college campus, turn on any TV show, watch a CIA ad. She's so embarrassing, made an entire career out of being a pick-me. You didn't watch the video. And I'm not going to. Well,
Ah! Ah! Why are you commenting on something you didn't watch? Like that. Yeah, she said a CIA ad. That is in reference to, like, I don't know, unsolved cases. Whatever. Just... Yeah, card shops, game shops are not the most financially successful places. Also, I'm an introvert. I don't go to those places and fucking walk up and start talking to people. If I go to Barnes & Noble and I walk over to the fucking Don May book section and there's a person standing there, I am not going to strike up a conversation with that person. Like 100%. I am not going to do it. If they were like, you have to go talk to that person. Why do I have to go talk? I don't want to talk to random strangers. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Like, I mean, I can. I'd be like, hey, so what's your favorite anime? Do you have any like recommendations? But like, so like going to like, it is wild to me because like Ray will tell me about how like he and some friends go to a game store and then they play Magic the Gathering with strangers. And I'm like, what do you mean you playing with strangers? What do you mean you playing with guys you don't even know the name of? Like, that's wild to me. Like, like fucking, excuse me. And not even as like a draft. Like, they're just there playing and like a guy comes up and is like, hey, can I play too? Like, that is wild to me. So like, if you're not someone who can come up and be like, hey, can I play too? Or hey, do you want to play with us? Or would you like to play against me or whatever? What, you just hanging out by yourself in the space, hoping an extrovert adopts you. Like, I can't. I couldn't be that way. I'd just be lonely. Like 100%, I'd just be lonely.
Well, I didn't watch the video because I'd rather shoot myself than sit through a shoe video. Can someone take one for the team and watch?
Then don't comment on it. If you don't want to watch it, then don't comment on it. You have no idea what she says, obviously, so don't comment if you haven't watched it.
Watch this vid to get an answer. I'm sorry, but it was a 20-minute long video. I have ADHD, and I know some of y'all do too, but I know you motherfuckers are watching 5-hour YouTube documentaries about shit like iCarly. I know you could take time out of your busy schedule from being the most miserable people on earth and watch a 20-minute long video. Here, does this help? Are you paying attention now?
She doesn't need to say it's women's fault for us to know exactly what she means.
This is like bordering on schizophrenia. Yeah, she didn't say it, but we all know she did. This is why I advocate for mental health care to be free. We need to get these some therapy.
Male loneliness this, male loneliness that. Do you know how isolating it feels to almost never be able to develop genuine friendships with men because they see you as nothing more than an object for sexual conquest?
I'm gonna tell you something not many people probably have told you in your life. It's not about you. I get that the friend zone is a very frustrating thing to deal with. Trust me, I know. Nothing worse than enjoying being friends with a guy, but not having a romantic attraction and having to cut him off because you don't want to lead him on or hurt him. It sucks being girlfriend zoned. But coming into this conversation, basically like, woe is me, so many people want to fuck me, is a little insane. Like, maybe if this discourse was about the friend zone, this would make sense. But this is like barging into a conversation full of starving people and being like, I ate too much chicken tendies, you guys, my tummy hurts. Like, get out of here.
So, this is probably going to sound a little narcissistic. In college, early college for me, I had a friend group, right? Anime club, whatever. And there was a group of guys in it that I was friends with. Like, I had a fairly large group of friends, like guys and girls. I'm not saying like it was only guys. That's not true. I found out about this later too, which is wild. So there was a group of guys within my larger friend group that I don't know, they just kind of got together and decided that they were going to try to break me up with my significant other in order to try to date me. And these were like my friends. And learning about that later is like really weird. So I'm not really super friends with any of those people now, but not because of that. They just kind of, I'm friendly with one of them when I see them, but I don't like talk to them. Like, I don't really see them. I see them like once a year at like a party, but the other ones kind of ended up being kind of shitty people. In some way or another. But like, you can be friends with men. Like, I'm friends with guys. I play video games with them. Some of them have significant others, some of them don't. Like I don't know. Plug Fit? Hello, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Like, so I'm just kind of like I get it. Yeah. Like, I get it a little bit, but not entirely, because like I still have guy friends. Not every man I have interacted with or guy I've interacted with like has been like, oh, you gotta date me or something. Like, what the hell? Are you just bad at making friends? Like, what the hell? Is it how you interact with people? I don't know. Like, I'm just like what? I'm confused. I am confusion. Like, what? surely not every male you interact with just wants to date you. Where are you finding them? Where are you interacting with them? What is happening? Surely not. Not the gay and asexual ones. I mean, surely you can have friends with males. Like, they're people too. Okay. I don't know.
Women got sick of men creating a society where women were second-class citizens, so now men are facing loneliness. Yeah, this is payback to you for not letting women vote decades ago. You personally. Men failed themselves. They built a whole system for their benefit, and in the moment it starts to crumble because the oppressed class they've always subjected, women, is waking up. They start to put the blame on us. Cowards and dangerous misogynists. So first of all, nobody's putting the blame on you. Nobody did that. I didn't do that. You made that up in your heads. And second of all, this system wasn't created for the...
So, I think they're saying, like, men are blaming women. And, you know, there's not, like, a study saying that it's women's fault. Like, calm down. Like, it's okay. Everyone's allowed to have a hard time. Everyone's allowed to have different problems.
Average man. It was created for the rich and powerful. It benefits the rich and powerful.
They have their boots on our necks, and the handmaidens are like, oh no, they look kind of sad.
I'm sorry, who has their boot on your neck? All men? You know who has their boot on your neck? The satanic pedophiles in charge of our government. These soulless demonic corporations that would throw your mother into a wood chipper if it made them make an extra penny. That's who has the boot on your neck. Not Joe Schmo.
There you go. See? Government. I wasn't wrong.
Working 2 jobs so he doesn't get evicted.
Here's some male loneliness discourse for you. Do you ever at all, even for a second, consider the problem is you? That maybe, just maybe, the reason you're lonely is that you are an awful human being, truly just awful, and that it's right that you are lonely? It's fair.
It is hard to connect with people in 2024. It is hard to forge friendships and connections. Even just friendships, but even like deeper connections. Because the pool of sociability that you are pulling from is smaller and growing smaller. Like, okay. Meetings for my convention, okay? Back in the day, they were all in person. You had to be there in person. So people show up. Hey, there's a bunch of people here. You make friendships that way. Okay, now we have both in-person meetings and we do Discord. So like you if you can't be there or if you don't want to be there, you can just get on the Discord, listen in, right? The amount of people that show up to meetings, significantly smaller. Significantly. Okay? Like, there are people that I have never seen before, okay? Because, like, they don't physically come to the meetings. And that's fine. Right? Like, it's okay. I get it. But, like, it is hard in like, today's world to meet people. I feel like, especially now after the pandemic. Like, oh my God. Calm down. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, they probably do consider that. The suicide rate doesn't lie.
Maybe if some men weren't bigots. The solution to male loneliness is literally just being a better person.
I love that the implication here is that lonely people are bad people. Every lonely man is just a bigot and a racist and an Andrew Tate fan. I guess it makes it easier for them to like not care about this if they paint these people as the enemy. If you dehumanize the enemy, it makes it easier to sleep at night, I suppose. Now, I started noticing a reoccurring pattern with a lot of these accounts getting mad about or like dismissing the male loneliness discourse. Many of them have OnlyFans. This is relevant because like out of everyone on earth,
Probably gonna get hate for this. Okay. Back when I was a bigger cosplayer than I am now. Not that I've ever been a big cosplayer. That's important to note. I have never been like a huge cosplayer or anything. But back when I did a lot more cosplays. All right. The people that comment on your stuff the most, it's like one of two people. It is either someone that is like watching you grow, or is like, you're a cool person, I'd kind of like to be friends with you, or I like your stuff, like etc. Or they are the thirstiest people ever, and they start saying really shitty things to you when you do not do what they want. Like, it's fucking wild. Like, there was back when I was like, I'm gonna buy a DSLR, my first like big budget DSLR, and I asked about people's opinions because I was really like struggling to pick a camera. So I like asked about people's opinions, and this dude was like, you should do a GoFundMe for your camera. And I was like, I have the funds to buy the camera. I don't need help buying the camera. I don't want anyone to give me money. Like, I don't need to GoFundMe. I can buy this camera. I'm just trying to decide which camera to buy. Like, which company to buy. And dude kept trying to get me to take, like, pictures in, like, capris. Like, I guess he had an ankle foot. I don't know. But, like, dude kept kind of insisting would suggest cosplays that are like kind of niche anime, and it would be the main character in like pajamas, and you only ever see it in one scene in one episode or something because it had capris. Like, dude would contact me and ask me to take pictures of just me in capris, like with like clothing on, right? But like specifically capris. I was like, dude, I don't even own capris. Like, I don't, like, no. And then one day he just went off on me because, like, I was like, dude, I am not going to take a picture of myself in capris. I don't own capris. Please quit asking. Went off on me and was like, I was going to help you buy a camera and all this other stuff. I was like, at no point in time did I ask you to help me buy anything other than, like, I asked generally, does anyone have suggestions about cameras? I'm looking at these two specific cameras, and I would not accept money from you, even if you had offered it to me, which you semi-did, and I turned you down. Like, dude went off, said terrible things about me, all because I wouldn't take pictures of myself in capris. So, like, those are the kind of people, when they look at you and they look at you kind of like a sexualized object, it's you feel dehumanized by them. I'm gonna be honest. Kayla, hi, hello. So you feel kind of dehumanized by how they treat you. So if it's like these people have OnlyFans, I can only imagine the type of comments and DMs and shit they get. So I'm just like, that's not every man, okay? Like, it's not. And just Jesus. Please. Look outside the box. You're in a box right now, and you need to just peek over the side of the box and see the rest of the world. I understand that you're probably getting really dehumanizing, like, DMs or comments that are just looking at you like meat. Like, I get it. But that's not everybody.
Why would those people be so mad about someone wanting to solve, or at least bring attention to, the male loneliness epidemic?
Oh, she's also probably going to say, like, they want males to be lonely so they give them money, I guess.
This is like a crack dealer getting mad at people talking about crack addiction.
Okay, there it is.
This is your opinion, and this is where it belongs. Have a good day. I could say that, okay? I'm a YouTuber. That's far more degrading than being an OnlyFans model.
Her face looks like she's pandering to pedos. That makeup style is so catered to pedos. They're actively trying to make themselves look like kids.
Ah yes, children. Notorious for wearing big fake eyelashes and 10 pounds of eyeliner. What?
Can't stand this bitch and her side part. Bitches with this makeup style piss me the fuck off. They always wear that type of makeup.
I like her makeup.
Looking at her makeup, I already know the type of person she is. You can just tell.
Someone with makeup skills. Someone who is able to apply eyeliner. Because, like, mine never looks right.
All by her makeup. Not to be rude, but that makeup tells everything I need to know. Her makeup says everything I need to know.
This is literal NPC behavior. Not watching the video, blindly spewing the exact same insults. Just, I have no argument and I must scream. They don't even know why they're mad. They just saw a woman in the thumbnail of a video about men and their brains just broke. Her makeup doesn't look like ours. Her hair is styled differently than ours. Should I be like extra cute in this thumbnail? Would that piss them off?
I'm not like other girls.
Why do we hate her again?
Guys, why do we hate this person again? Can't form my own opinion, help. Why do we hate her?
Why do all incel adjacent women look like this?
When you're a woman talking about men's issues online and they can't outright call you an incel, they just call you incel.
When I say NPC, I'm usually working like a fan table and someone comes up and I was like, hi, have you heard of us? And then I'm going through a whole spiel. Like, that is the same for almost every person that walks up to me. And if they interrupt me, I get confused.
Jason, I guess. And
when I get confused, I have to start over.
Not calling you incel adjacent. They're breaking out all reliable.
Pick me behavior. Pick me girls are so CEO of Pick Me, high priestess of Pick Me church.
So I am the CEO of Pick Me.
Maybe I'm just not on the same parts of the internet. But, like, she does not come off as a pick-me girl to me. You know? I mean, I guess that's kind of the point. But, like, I don't know.
And the high priestess. Maybe this video will boost me to pick me goddess. Watch out, Pearl. I'm coming for your title. Now, I've already talked about the pick me insult in other videos, but it's just so lazy, man. I'm so tired of it. I've been hearing it for over a decade now. And yes, there are people who absolutely do fit the definition of a pick-me from both genders. Men who talk about how much they hate men, women who talk about how much they hate women. But I don't hate women. My mom is a woman. My sister is a woman. My friends are women. I am a woman. I can't be women-phobic. I have women friends. But the insult is just so beyond overused nowadays. Every woman who doesn't toe the current line is a pick-me. It's just a way to socially ostracize other women, to make you fall in line and agree with their opinions.
So, pick-me is kind of like, I'm not gonna explain it well, probably, but basically they want to be picked by men or boys or whatever. So they're like, oh, I'm like one of the guys, but they treat me better. Like, you know, like, it's kind of fake. It's like a girl that's really fake to get the attention generally of men. That's how I haven't looked up what a pick-me is. That's my understanding of a pick-me, kind of. Usually they're kind of shitty to other girls. They're really fake. They're kind of two-faced. If, like, you can kind of think of like they're trying to build a harem almost, and if another girl kind of comes in, they try to get the other girl out by, you know, saying stuff or whatever. Yeah, hashtag not like other girls, kind of, yeah.
But it's not going to work here because I am socially retarded and borderline autistic. So you have no power here. You can't tell me what to believe. You can't change my opinions. You're not my boyfriend.
I hope this bitch fails to wake up in the morning. Her terrorism still hasn't stopped. Oh my god.
Y'all feeling terrorized by her? Because I'm not.
she's still relevant? She should have went down with her anti-feminism shtick a few years ago.
Believing men should get rights and should get mental health care and should be like I can't think of the word, but like whatever. Like that's not anti-feminism. Like I'm kind of okay. I think there was like a Meninist movement. And it started off, this is my understanding, I could be wrong. It started off about like men wanting better representation or rights involved with their children after divorce and that kind of stuff. Like, hey, I want better custody stuff, whatever, like options, etc. And then it kind of devolved because some other people got involved that kind of weren't in line with that kind of value. And so then they were like, shit, man, no, that's not what we're trying to, what? So like... It goes back to like kind of like equality almost, like, you know, just, oh right, you can send me that John Johnson video, but like just fucking I haven't watched her old stuff, to be fair. I only kind of started watching Shoe0nHead's super recently, but like, bro, this is a lot.
I thought she would have fell off by now. If you want to know how I didn't fall off, if you want to know how I'm still relevant after 10 years, look in a f***ing mirror. You stop being cringe, I stop being relevant. Deal? Fun fact, she reached out to incel accounts for help with this video. No, I'm not kidding. Well, yeah, it's good to go to the source and talk to the people who have experience with the subject I'm talking about. I'm not lonely and I'm not a man, despite what the mainstream media may say. I do not, in fact, have a penis. Do not put in the paper that I have a penis.
We scour the internet for weird video to show you, and the other day we came across this, the weirdest we've seen in a while.
The problem is...
Also, every once in a while I get a comment on YouTube that's people just saying like they are convinced I am a man, which I find kind of funny.
Is Shoe just affirms them instead of converting them. Converting them to what? This is exactly the thing I talked about in my video. These people don't want to actually help men. They just want to recruit them into their little political tribe. Would it be cool if everyone agreed with me politically? I was gonna say yes, but honestly, that would be a little horrifying. That would be a very scary world. My goal wasn't to convert men to agree with me politically. My goal was just to bring attention to this issue and put a spotlight on it. It is cool when people tell me, oh, you've changed my mind on this, you've changed my mind on that. I love that. I love to see that. I was unaware that was my job. My job is to get on YouTube and say poo poo pee pee, and everyone go ha 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 and give me money. But in this case, it was for me to go, hey, the men are not okay, and for people to go, damn, that sucks, and give me money. PragerU is sharing Shoe0nHead's video now. Explain to me how she's still a leftist. I personally think it's a good thing when people agree on good things. There should be more people agreeing on good things, quite frankly. I feel like a lot of good things would be done in this country if more people agreed on good things. And I don't know, I think it's pretty neat that this might be the first and last time a video that talks about alienation under capitalism and says the term material conditions will be shown to a massive right-wing audience like PragerU. But hey, don't worry your little heart, this will never happen to a left-wing YouTuber you watch. The internet feminists weren't the only ones booty blasted about my video. I also rustled the jimmies of some in the manosphere. You just want more OnlyFans subscribers. You don't care about male loneliness. She's actually a man dressed as a woman. That's why she or he is there speaking about men's issues. Fellas, protect your sanity, your seed, and your wallet
and your belief in using commas.
These current times. These women are shapeshifters. This chick is gonna hit.
the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to call the church.
Hit the wall in 10 years. That's why she cares about male loneliness. She sees many cats in her future. They want us back on the plantation, gentlemen. Hold the line. I don't really
all right.
understand what the conspiracy here in general is, though. Like I'm just talking about a subject I found important and interesting, like I've been doing on this channel, and these guys are like, stay strong, brothers, don't give in to temptation. Why are we listening to women about male loneliness? Plenty of male figures discussing this. Honestly, I'm gonna say it, SJW behavior, liberal behavior, woman behavior, to imply that I shouldn't speak or be listened to about a subject because I'm not the correct gender. Anyone can talk about anything they want. That's free speech, bit. You don't have to listen. You can make your own video talking about the subject, Mr. Man, but you know they're just gonna call you sexist and misogynist, so you might as well just use me as a human shield. It's not that she's a woman or cares. She's the kind of person who will only talk about an issue because it's popular. Women suddenly want to help men, but only because it benefits them and their causes.
Well, now not only are conservative women talking about it, but also the left. This is the problem with the women that decide to come forward and speak about men's issues. They don't care about men's issues. You must ask the question. Now that they're coming around and talking about men's issues, is it to help men or to win men into their cause?
So first of all, let me just clear something up, because some of you seem a bit confused. I started talking about these subjects 10 years ago, way back before it was popular to do so. Back when I was doxxed, harassed, had angry feminists calling my job and trying to get me fired over mocking pop feminism and talking about men's issues. And a lot of these people coming at me now, telling me I'm jumping on a bandwagon, started like 2 or 3 years ago, when it was safe to do so. So with all due respect, sir,
stay out of my territory.
But in full seriousness, it is good when more people talk about this subject. I'm glad you talk about this. I'm glad there are people like the honey badgers who have been talking about this stuff for a very long time. This girl is a fake who wants every man to be a castrated beta male feminist commie like her boyfriend probably is. She takes advantage of men like this. Do not listen to her.
Bro, what? Jesus Christ on a cracker. Jeez-its, if you will. What? Y'all okay? Like, what?
Lefty women want to help men become good feminists who devote their lives to helping women have all the power so they can make men their servants. Basically, we need to help men destroy men. That's the only way men should be helped. We women said so. Shoe0nHead. What? Real quote. No. Never trust a woman, even if they are saying the truth. It's so weird how, like, they need to convince themselves that
never trust a woman, even though it looks like they're helping us, they're not, is basically, like, are you okay? Like, I can't, like, my brain is the freaking loading symbol. I don't, like, what?
Even when a woman is showing empathy and, like, caring about this subject, that she's just like a lying snake in the grass. Literally just a mirror universe of these fucking femcells. It's mommy and daddy issues all the way down. Ladies, be a good mom to your sons. Fellas, be a good dad to your daughters. Try to prevent creating the most insufferable, annoying people on earth, please. I don't know if it's because I grew up with a good relationship with both of my parents or what, but this gender war shit is just so toxic, man. Men and women need each other, you know, we're yin and yang, and the yin and yang is being torn apart by miserable people. Miserable people who want to make you miserable as well. One of the most valid criticisms I got about this video was that I didn't offer any solutions. And honestly, that's because I don't have any. I wanted to talk about the problem, but I don't know how to solve it. A lot of YouTubers and streamers and talking heads.
I mean, the solving it, like, some of it just comes to societal stuff. Like I mentioned, I think, in one of those videos, where, like, the issue is how we are now plugged into the internet and we do everything through the phone. And, like, it sounds really old, but, like, we've taken a step back from being as sociable. Like, we both are more sociable and less so at the same time. And it's how we interact with one another, right? It is literally just how we as a society now in the year 2024 or whenever this video was made, how we have decided to interact with each other. And yeah, it's like dating apps and like social media and like a lot of social media, like when you think about it, like a lot of social media is staged. All of the pictures are posed, they're staged, you know. People will fake things in pictures so they can post it to Instagram and get, I don't know, clout or something, whatever. So like, it's hard to, again, as I've been saying, connect with another person, to really know what is going on with another person. It's so it's just
will get up on their platform and like pretend they.
So like how like what is the way to fix this? Like it's the direction society is moving in, right? And so you have to sit there and be like, how do I change the direction society is moving in? Like how we decide to be social. You can't do that. You're one person. You're one person. It's harder to meet people because less people go out. You don't have to. You can meet people, quote unquote, online, but it's hard to meet those online people in person. So it's just like, and because it's hard to meet them in person, it's hard to actually have a deeper relationship with them. Maybe that's just my opinion, right? Or like you do meet them in person and then it turns out they are nothing like how they present themselves in an online space. Like, I'm just saying. And like we as a collective, we're not going to change the direction as a collective. Like, so there's that whole like, oh, we're probably like we might end up banning TikTok, whatever, right? We've already seen what happens when a app like TikTok goes down because of Vine. So after Vine, Music IOI, whatever, and TikTok came out. Like, very close to one another. TikTok's the one that survived, whatever. But now we have YouTube Shorts as well, like YouTube adapted, so they can have short form content there. You can do Reels on Instagram. I think Snapchat has something too. I don't know. I don't have Snapchat, but I have no idea how it works. So, like, if TikTok is gone, we're either A, gonna basically, okay, YouTube Shorts, or B, you know, YouTube will probably just come out with a YouTube Short specific app, just like YouTube Music. Or another company will come in and basically make TikTok 2.0, right? Have a good night, DB. So, like, you know, like, we're not. How do you fix this when this is what we as a society have decided is how we're going to interact with one another or whatever? I don't
know the answers to everything. But the truth is, I don't. I just think that it's a step in the right direction to be like, hey men, you're struggling, but you're not a bad person. You matter. And if I could snap my fingers.
Also just to be like, hey man, you're struggling and we see you. Like, we're aware. This is something that we're going to talk about. Like, that's not a problem. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a bad thing To be like, hey, group of people, you're struggling. We see you. We see your struggles. We understand that you're struggling. Let's put it in the limelight. Let's talk about it, you know?
And cure this? I absolutely would. But at the end of the day, men are men, and man problems require man solutions. And that solution, of course, is giving me money. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm reading the comments on that video all the time, and I will read the comments on this video as well. If you see some people talking about their experiences and venting about their issues and their problems in the comments, reply to them, support them, join in on the discourse. The Shoe0nHead community is a very diverse community. Not like race-wise, I'm pretty sure you're all fucking white, but like, like politically diverse. But we can all come together to talk about the issues that matter, and I think that's really cool, and we love to see it. And I will see you in the next video.
Okay, sorry if I kind of lost the lead a little bit multiple times in this video. I did notice that I did that where I would like start talking and then forgot what I was talking about. I do that a lot. Again, I'm on after surgery medication. So it's a little worse. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm very sorry about that. Anyway, I think it's important to talk about issues, no matter what the issues are. If the group is having issues, we should talk about it, and we should maybe, like, step one is acknowledging that there's an issue, right? Like, that's kind of, I think, is that not right? Like, just acknowledging that there's an issue. So it's good to talk about it, I think.